Your boy. So, lately I was playing World of Warcraft. Then I got this message um, saying that WoW is bad and sinful. So there was just only one solution left, and that was going and live stream some Minecraft, obviously. I was thinking about using the in-game music. This is actually a mod pack. As you can see, it's a skyblock. I need to change some settings for Activate D and Quest. X no conflicts. Alright. This is actually a expert mod pack. I'm pretty bad at the game. I've seen a little bit of this. But should be fine. First I'm going to make a crafting table. Tinker's crafting table. Going to place it down. Put the tent ladder around the wooden frame. Get a small backpack. Then some twerking to grow a tree. Get saplings. Get wood. Let's repeat this for a little bit. In this expert mod pack, that means that it gets pretty hard, pretty fast. But in this case, it's ported to a skyblock. Usually it's just a normal overworld mod pack. But the start is actually pretty fast compared to modern Skyblock 3 Departed. This is because the start of modern Skyblock is very grinding. At least in my opinion, it's a smart decision. And there's no real automation or skill to get it faster. I guess there's a little, but well, that didn't give me any saplings. Shit. Alright. It's fine. So if you aren't familiar with Minecraft mechanics, the reason why there's a half slab down instead of just making it all in blocks is because monsters actually don't spawn if it's a half slab down. It only spawns like per block level. Alright. I'm going to craft a platform. And then usually one of the first things you want to do in a sky block is making a dark room. And a dark room is for mobs to spawn. So one of the prerequisites of a dark room is for mobs to spawn is that obviously it has to be dark. So either at nighttime or in an enclosed area. Or you have to and what also needs to happen is it needs to be far away, because mobs can't actually spawn in your near location. I'm just going to build out a bit. Plant some trees so it can grow when I get back. So if you do it way too far, the mobs also despawn. And if you don't build it far enough, they won't spawn at all. I don't actually know the exact exactly how far it needs to be. Would have to look that up, but can't be bothered. Alright. So right now I'm just making some space so I can walk around the mob farm. Because what will happen, I will show you in a little bit. Is that I can actually attack the monsters, and the monsters can't attack me. And it will still be dark. So just some twerking for the trees. This is usually how a skyblock works at the start. Just setting up a mob farm and getting some wood so you have some actual space to work. So aside from a mob farm being a room, usually a room that's dark, you also wanted to have it high enough for it to have Enderman spawn. Oh, shit. I just fucked myself. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Except for resources. Hey, brother. Yeah, it's around 20 to 24. That's right. I'm a bit farther away. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Let's make some tinkering tools. I'll put it over here. I'm actually sure that there, yeah, should be some chests. Although don't really need a stenciled chest. But I mean, why not? Let's put a normal chest over here. I didn't actually know that wooden tools just break after 2 hits. Sure, stencil, part builder. Yeah. I mean, axe head. Do a shovel and 2 rod. And last should be this one, I think. Tool station, yes. There you go. No, this is Enigma 2 Expert Skyblock edition. So Yeah, this part isn't what the expert part about it. Just fucking up with the uh, fucking up with the diamond wand isn't the expert part about it, obviously. It's kind of like the start is very similar to modern Skyblock 3, I find, except it's just faster. A lot of things aren't that gated because the pack itself is hard enough to get to stuff like yeah, creative. So the thing I actually like about I actually do really like these kind of expert mod packs since I'm a programmer, so I just like to automate stuff. But I also do enjoy building, although I'm not really good at it. But usually when I play Skyblocks, I do want to make something fancy. Well, it broke down. Now what? I kind of forgot the auto jump thingy is in the mod pack. Hmm. kind of deciding how high I want to do it, the floor. I think about this. This guy's height. Right. In the tool station. Well, first death. Let's go. Oof. It's been a while playing a Skyblock. There you go. A mob farm. Should just work like that. Going to make sword. Some stencils. A blade. A white guard. That should be it. Tool rod. White guard. Blade. Sword. There you go. I mean, it's spawning Enderman. That's a good thing. Witches. I mainly need some creepers at the moment. Witches are actually kind of annoying like this. All right. You're watching Minecraft, obviously. This is very epic. Is that really a thing? There's a lot of pedophiles play Minecraft. No. I don't really like children. Now this is epic. This is very true. I mean, it kind of depends. Do children count as women and minorities? Women and or minorities? You should be able to see it on top of the screen. It was pronoun. He dabbed on me pretty hard for playing World of Warcraft. Therefore, I'm playing Minecraft again. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm playing Minecraft right now. This is true. Bjark is completely right. I mean, I'm not saying that playing Minecraft is basically dog whistle for the alt-right, but... Uh, yes. This is why I would never smoke weed. Outside of a cultural context. Alright, see it. Fuck. Alright, aim for the water, aim for the water. Ah! Fuck. Uh... Okay, so what I'm doing right now is it's called a cobble generator. So I can produce stone. First, this needs to melt down into lava. Because of these crafting tables I use as a base. Because if lava touches the wood, it just burns away. But if the lava touches the crafting table, it doesn't matter. That's basically it. I mean, I didn't make this game, but this should be one of the best ways to do it, to create stone. Also, the whole reason why hello.
Hey,
The whole reason why I'm streaming is because I was really bored.
fair enough. Also, I do realize I could have just joined you back on your server.
That's fine.
Yeah, I kind of fell asleep early, so now it's like 1 in the morning and I'm awake, so that's fun.
Nice. Yeah, it should be late at your place, I think. Should be.
Real, not Aussie hours.
I was streaming to expect my Aussie audience to show up. Literally the only person that showed up is the Aussie. Feels good, man.
Yeah, what time is it in the UK at the moment?
Sorry?
What time is it in the UK at the moment?
In the UK, 1 hour before me. So that's 4:11 in the like midday.
Oh, yeah.
So at my place it's like yeah, past 5.
Yeah, fair enough. God, had no idea what to play recently.
I was kind of bored of World of Warcraft.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I tend to default to playing Risk of Rain, but I can only play so much of it now.
Hmm.
I've played that game to death.
Yeah. It's it's the
Nearly 600
roguelike, right?
hours.
It's a roguelike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not very roguelike. It's got some. It's kind of more chooses between a bunch of preset levels rather than um, like being particularly random.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I can fucking break that game really easily. So kind of every game is like, okay, how am I going to not break this?
As if you played it long enough, that tends to happen.
Yeah. Because there are a couple of just really overpowered builds.
Hmm.
One less so, but still kinda.
Yeah, it's one of the games I didn't want to start playing, but I kind of knew about it when I was playing a lot of Binding of Isaac.
Oh yeah.
It's still a game I really like, but
Yeah, I never got particularly into Binding of Isaac.
I kind of got burned out on that, so then I was like, meh, I'm not going to play another kind of like that. I also really liked Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, I've never really played that. I think I have it on my Steam, but
Pretty good.
or not. But yeah, like maybe a bit after Binding of Isaac was peak popularity at school. That's when I started to spread around Risk of Rain because I had a DRM free copy from Humble Bundle.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I also have. I know I have the game, but I think I also got it from my Humble Bundle. That was a while ago, though. I think.
But yeah, so like, there are kind of two main builds. One where you can just make you one hit everything all the fucking time and pierce through enemies.
Hmm.
Although that's mostly just for the bandit. And for everything else, you can just stack AoE items.
Hmm.
So like then you don't even have to do it. I think the game kind of plays itself because you have this massive aura of death around you.
Oh, so you have these kind of there's a questing system in this Minecraft mod pack I'm playing, and you can get like random awards. I got something that made my whole stone generation completely useless. I got 43,000 blocks of stone.
43 million.
43 million, yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that might be a few more blocks than you necessarily needed.
Double compressed. Yay! Stone Age. Yeah. Still want the generation though, but
Yeah, it looks like it's a pain to
oh,
uncompress, decompress.
yeah, yeah. There are better ways to do it, but like I could compress it again back and just don't look at it anymore. Or just throw it away. Hmm. Yeah, it just takes a lot of space. I don't really have. It worked. Cool.
They're less space significantly than actual 40 million cobblestone.
This is very true.
4 million.
Yeah, 40 million. 43. Mana dust. I think, yeah, there are some kind of game-breaking awards you could get. It's, I'm not sure.
Oh, at least makes Skyblock more interesting.
Yeah, usually people were complaining about awards not being good enough or being completely useless. I have to use the Tinker's tool. And this is also an expert pack, so like some cobblestone is not something that would like bring me over the edge or anything like that. I will be automating cobblestone anyway.
Yeah, the other thing I'll occasionally play a level of is Ronin. And if you don't know if you played it.
I haven't played it. I've seen it. Looked pretty cool.
That's kind of fun. Though for at least some of the levels that I play, I basically know click by click what I need to do. It's really cool though, like some parts that you're supposed to just get into a fight for, you can kind of do stealthily. So, you know, you'll be in a room with an absolute ton of guards and a bunch of light sources, and there are still ways to kind of get between those light sources and take out a few people without being seen.
Yeah, this is my cobblestone generating because these tables don't catch fire. So it's normally you kind of have to use stone to create stone, but it's a way better way.
Yeah, the way I remember doing it for Skyblock is to begin with you build it on the dirt, and then once you get enough cobblestone you place the dirt with cobble.
Yeah, exactly. Because you start with the dirt. Yeah, it's not a bad way. This also makes
the
like
cool thing
a lot
about that Skyblock is that you like started with one thing of bedrock. So you kind of build the point and you have to mine over the bedrock.
Yeah. Let me see if I can already make this. I need normal stone for it.
What are you trying to make?
There's this mechanic. So a lot of resources you get through Sky Resources. Maybe if you played like an older Skyblock, you would have to do a lot of shifting to get resources. Like put sand through this shifter thingy, you get resources. But yeah, here it's using combustion and alchemy, and here through combustion I could change a lot of things to other stuff. So gunpowder needs some heat units to turn into blaze powder. That's how I got the blaze powder, for example. Hardened coal block into diamond. So yeah,
this is a very different mod pack to what I've played with.
Yeah. This is, we don't see this a lot like this. Well, now you do, but for example, I can make dirt apparently through plant matter. Plant matter is easy for me to make. I can just get a lot of dirt.
Fellas, can we set a GoFundMe to get Wheezy platform shoes?
Aww.
It's a real problem. She's having trouble getting into uni.
Really? Because the stairs are too high.
No, I think it was the doors.
Ah, yeah, happens. Oh yeah.
So what's platform shoes.
Yeah, we need to get you some shoes to make you taller.
Oh hell yeah.
I've posted the link. It says tall men's shoes, but they also do women's.
It's good to know that they're not sexist and discriminatory. That's I love it.
Well, no, they mean men as in like the species term, as in we are men.
You men.
You men.
That's still sexist to be honest.
This is true. It's really sad.
You take one fucking sociology class and now you can't like species. Right.
Listen, she knows her history.
Fucking-
It's actually a diversity week at college, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
Why is it that everyone I know who is like actually quote unquote diverse is normal, but all the white people around them are just complete cancerous? Like this is it. It's just like every time I see someone who's like in any way diverse, they actually like, oh yeah, I have an opinion, and then every white person's like, oh well, I can't have an opinion.
Yeah, literally on the law board in the business blog where they advertise the law course, there's nothing to do with the actual course. It's just about women and minorities in law and how
Yes.
more women need to be judges. That's it. That's the entire board.
Women enough judges, you know. I'm not. I'm saying, lads. Know what I'm saying.
It literally says if there were more women judges, the law would be more fair.
No, well,
No,
I
do
agree.
not say that.
It
I
does.
I actually agree. The reason is
Next time I see it.
the reason why I agree with that is that women tend to judge other women more harshly than men do.
Oh, not bad chat actually. Yeah.
So
No, but the problem is that's women who are normal. But if you've got the more indoctrinated and feminist shit, they're gonna give them less than men would.
oof. Maybe I should only stream on YouTube, to be honest.
Here's the thing: if you get a woman on her own, right, like just as a normal, like she's not part of any identity, she wants to stay within the group.
Hmm.
They're really group sensitive. Women opposed to men, because for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because men think groups
Men
are
are
gay.
more solitary, and women are more group orientated. So if you make an entire group about women, it means that all women, or at least a large majority, who are part of that group, act in that group's favour. It's because feminism is abusing the female
That
body.
is
Fact.
stupid.
Dab.
Guys, what's this thing about women's rights? Can we not? Thanks.
In a good Christian society, women's rights wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
God damn.
Literally name one Christian who believes in women's rights. I'll wait. Even Jesus was like, "You're too much of a hoe. Stop."
Everybody,
Jesus wanted to protect us from thoughts. That's what I'm saying.
everybody be like, what about women's rights? And I'm like, but what about left-handed women?
Women don't use their hands.
Oof.
Yes, they do. For making sandwiches.
God.
I don't trust a woman with my fucking sandwich.
No, same. Don't ever let a woman be in your kitchen, for they will poison you.
I agree with the statements.
Yeah, it's just Weezy won't plan it. She'll just do it by accident.
Oof.
She didn't argue back.
Like a good woman.
Exactly. This but unironically.
But how's your uni going, Monster Demon?
Oh, I'm not back yet.
Thought
They really kind of like condensed the course down
already.
in terms of like dates. Yeah, they really like show it all together.
Hmm.
So it usually it's like really fucking intense, It's like, I'd literally take working an extra month just so I didn't have to fucking have a panic attack every day.
Yeah, how many
It's-
weeks
it's
is
all
your
coursework.
semester?
Oh fuck. I think I'm gonna be in for 5 weeks and then. Now, what is it? What exactly is it? Like we have half term around. I think my half term's just after yours.
Yeah,
What is
you're
it?
basically in for a month.
I'm in for 4 weeks and then I'm out again.
Hmm.
But it's
Then you-
like because the thing is, it's not exam based; it's all coursework based. So it's like it's just so fucking intense, man.
Yeah, I imagine.
Especially game design stuff because it's like that's not like a just slap that up before I send it out. It's like oh Jesus Christ. Yeah,
was-
it's definitely.
I was asking this before to Weezy, but do you have like a mandatory internship or apprenticeship or something like that?
In uni, you can take what's called a sandwich year.
Hmm.
Because some courses aren't 4 years long. So actually, quite a few aren't 4 years long. They're like 3 years long, but they're designed to kind of have you take an extra in between part of an
Yeah.
internship. But if you don't get one, you just carry on doing it normally. And for me, I'm like, I'd rather just get it done.
Yeah.
Because I do not like education. I like learning things, but I don't like education because they're two very different things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
School equals
really
poo-poo.
not fun.
Dab.
Guru, staying
I don't
cool
think I'd-
school kids.
Yeah, I've never been good at schooling because it's just like I don't think I'll get along with the personalities who are good at school because a lot of it's like I'm really good at writing reports and like fuck you because that's the people who get good grades. It's not the people who can like. It's like I'm the of the people in my class. I can say factually, I'm one of about 2 people I know who can actually do any competently program, and I'm not even that good, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a big difference between
I literally got bored midway through. I finished my work. I then did more, messed about with it, because I think we were fucking about in uni. I then broke it because I thought that was fun. So I just carried on spamming it until it basically just said like 1 FPS and it went, and then I had to close it through fucking Task Manager. I went, I'm bored now, and went around the room just telling everyone else how to do it, and it was like, it's like I don't do school.
Yeah, it's I see a lot of people, like a lot of people that are actually get good grades or are good at schooling. Usually they just have a good memory,
Yeah.
and especially with programming, it's not really about memory. It's
Oh no, you can basically just pull it up on the fucking.
yeah.
I literally have like Firefox open on my other tab, and it's like I have 2 screens. One is just to reference things, and the other is just the fucking screen.
Well, yeah, it also saves time later on.
It's like unless all you need to know is like the syntax roughly, and then it's like after
Yeah.
that, that's half. the
It's
battle.
more about knowing the logic than like knowing what the commands are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was like you know what it was like when I learned Java first. I think was it Java first? I'm trying to remember exactly what I learned first.
JavaScript, or
Yeah, JavaScript. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
say. I'm trying to remember exactly what scripts I learned because I think I did a bit of Python and that was just fucking ridiculous. It was just like
I'm
do walk forward and I went, okay, this is fucking
I'm
pointless.
having Python in school right now. We learned what a variable was. This is so epic.
is that what you learn? You're like, oh, I'm really learning a lot. Fucking
No, it's
this is
yes.
a variable. I'm like, oh, dude.
Well, the thing is, because I'm going to uni now, people that graduated high school just now also go to the same kind of level, right? But those who graduated high school higher than I did, they go to the same school. So I'm also with a lot of people that are under 18 or around 18. But a lot of them never programmed in their life, so they kind of need to start from scratch in the first year. Yes. This
But
is
not scratch though. Start from scratch, but not from
yeah,
scratch.
but not scratch, no. Just Python. Mainly.
I don't think it's a good start. I personally don't think it's. I mean, it's all right if you want to teach like what
The
what is
logic?
and variable.
Yeah.
But like you're better off starting with like Java, honestly, JavaScript,
Yeah, I agree.
because you can that takes you into like a C language,
Yeah,
at least C sharp, which is the common. I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you might as well start to get used to stuff like semicolons and stuff like that, because
Honestly, yeah, it is like it feels like for me. What did we do? I mean, I did like a 2-year course before I did my uni course,
Hmm.
and if I remember correctly, I want to say we started off with Stencil, which is basically Scratch, but
yeah,
it pretends to be better than it is, but it's still a massive pain in the ass because it doesn't teach you any of the principles of like script or anything. It's fucking awful. Plus, it gives me a headache after I look at it for a while because I can't read it. But basically, it's like you start that, but it's like at least you get there. It's like here is an variable. Actually, no, it doesn't even teach variables. Now I think about it, it's literally just functions, and you store the variables within the functions.
mm,
Fuck, that is awful.
yeah,
Yeah, either way. So, but that's at least like here's you make a thing and then stuff happens, right? That's all we needed to know, right?
Mhm.
Then the next year it was like, okay, Java in Unity, and it's like that's and from then, admittedly, a lot of that was very shitty coding because I didn't know how to do it. But it was like at least it was like I knew what I was doing by the time I came in, and then when it was like, okay, here's some cleaning up principles in terms of like just using like getting the most out of your scripts.
yeah,
So I'm just trying to think of what like initialization and shit like that.
yeah,
On serialization, that became a lot easier to do because I already knew that. But then people were like people forgot semicolons, and they kept on forgetting semicolons for years. I'm like, really?
yeah.
Yes.
That's why I think starting Python. I mean, I guess to kind of ease people into it, maybe, but
It's probably good from a you have to write text, getting into that idea.
yeah.
But fuck me, I don't like Python. It's fucking shit.
I mean, I've worked with it before, so it's doable.
Yeah, so it's basically just like you're good enough at doing it.
Yeah. But stuff like my first assignment was basically have your first name, like the word between. Some people, I don't know the English word for it, but the word, like the name between your first name and your surname.
Oh, your middle name.
Yeah, your middle
Yeah.
name. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Your middle
It's
name and then
beneficial
your
to
surname,
be
right?
quite honest.
And
Yeah.
and then you have to put it together with spaces between them into like my name. So, but I don't have a middle
I
name.
guess that makes enough sense.
Yeah,
I usually just fuck about it because I think it's funny.
so I don't have a middle name, but I'm not going to just scrap a variable, and I also want to put the spaces in there. So instead of a if-else statement, I use the ternary operator.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the first assignment was meant for using ternary operators, but yeah, that's kind of what I have to do to
I just
not be bored.
break things. That's all me and my mate Wade, all we do is just try and break stuff the second we get it. And the problem is that he's not as good necessarily at it, so he just kind of like he breaks my one. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, I guess. But
I'd just be too tempted to just make it a variable that you can fuck with later.
Yeah. But in soon, I think it should be a bit better. After the first year, I guess, or first half year, because
I mean, to be fair, like, what yours is 4 years long, isn't it?
yeah.
So I reckon you could probably cover more.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's because in the first year, people, there are some portion of the class that won't be doing any programming anyway.
Oh yeah, no, you've got have you got a story course or? 'Cause we have a story course.
Well,
Those
no,
people
it's
want
I'm not
jobs.
doing game development specifically. It's
Oh,
like
just a-
yeah, IT, general IT, but there's a
Oh right, I see.
yeah, so there's a one course at the start of the first half year. It's all mixed, right? All the IT people are mixed. But after the first half year, you have to choose which direction you want to go. So I'm going into technical IT, which is I mean
It's-
a minor is game development, but I can
Oh
do as a
yeah, I
minor.
forgot. We don't have that. Or at least we don't have that structure around.
Yeah,
It's just like you do one course and they just shove. They just decide what goes there. Is the best
Yeah.
way to describe it.
yeah. So I'm so what I'm going to do is it's more technical, so I don't have to be bored out of my mind. I could also do stuff like um, web development or something like that, but that's just doing the same again that
Yeah.
I did before.
You don't want to be too like Lemonade.
No, no. So I'm going to do I'm going to focus a bit more on actually writing drivers.
All right.
And
Oh, that's
more
good.
yeah, more around that, and also just robotics and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just don't think my problem is I have no fucking focus.
Hmm.
I constantly have to change what I'm doing because I I'm like not good. I'm not good enough at enough things to where I don't need to worry about like being good at everything. That's my philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, it's mainly because I want to get like a higher degree. That's the only reason, just for the paper, right?
Oh, yeah. I
That's it.
genuinely, I just want to have. I've kind of got to the opinion where it's like I don't really care what I do now. I want to do stuff. No, just in terms of like making stuff because I can't.
Yeah.
I will make anything. I literally don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Just because I prefer making to I don't even know if administrating is a correct idea, but it's just like I just it's not like I'm that skilled. It's just that I think it'd just be a waste.
No, but
'cause I'm just so
after
fucking intelligent. Oh, sorry. Yeah, what?
after actually having some actually working in the profession, it's you will just really quickly learn it.
Yeah, that is also the thing. Is it's like we had a guy come in. You know, what was the development company called? Fuck. It's that one shooter. That it's like a free to play shooter. I think.
Yeah.
It's that's set in London or like England. What is it fucking called?
Shooter.
No, the bloke works at Splash Damage,
All right.
and they make. Give me a second.
For some reason, I'm thinking about Hellgate, but
No, it's like
that's
it's
not shooter.
Oh, they made Brink, and they currently are working on, or they're making Dirty Bomb. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He came in and he basically said, "Yeah, I learned like some bits in uni. I learned a lot more outside of uni." Just because. I mean, there are some people who literally don't give a shit and they don't pay attention, and then they go, "Oh my god, how did I not know this?"
Yeah. Mm,
Um, I just think I need to convince people to get on projects with me, because otherwise I just get distracted and forget that I was making the stuff.
Yeah.
I was working on this like little tile-based game that was like a turn-based kind of survival game. But it was the whole idea was it was all on one dimension. So like, it was only on like it was an array of just one line. Effectively a list, but it obviously had to be in space. And I was making it. I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, I've got all these ideas," and I just forgot that I was making it.
I started on a RPG. I'm planning on making it a MMO. It's just 2D though, but because I can do the networking, it's the only thing that would be the bottleneck would be servers, right?
So the massive important part of like an MMO is the you probably have.
Well, yeah, networking, making the server and stuff like that, and all the that's no problem. But actually hosting it costs money, so fuck that. But like, if it's all set up,
with WoW. You can't compete.
I mean, it's just for fun.
Here's what you do: is you just generate random characters, and you just say they're other players, and you just have them all say cuck or that's offensive, and you're basically sorted.
I actually do want to kind of randomize in a sense the stats from the start. So because like you have some people that are in their build just a bit more bulkier, and some people.
That would be an interesting idea for an RPG. You just kind of don't have as it's kind of like Dark Souls in the sense you don't have like a hard class.
Yeah.
You just have stats, and then you just kind of say, "There's your thing," and they go, "I want a different character." And you're like, "Nope."
Yeah, so I kind of don't want to show actual stats to the player, so no numbers in that way.
Oh, that'll go well. Yeah.
But so what's optimized for the player is, so I kind of want to give them feedback on text, right? So if you can do something or not, and if you're better at something than before. But
yeah. I get the idea.
Yeah, so players don't actually know what their boundaries are, or like what they're less optimized for. Since
actually, that reminds me of an idea I had a while ago, where it was like it would just be a game where literally none of the text is readable. Like it doesn't have any description or any title. It's just a symbol, but it's got like a space for text next to it, and the player needs to write the text in, but based on the certain actions that happen. So like, oh, you lifted something, and it shows a little symbol above it, and it's like, is that strength? Okay, that's strength. Cool, I'll call that strength. And then you've got to try and work out how that matches to other things. It's basically just like an exaggerated version of, just to bring it back up again, Dark Souls fucking stats, which is just like, what does it do? And you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Strength, what does it do? Makes you stronger.
Yeah, that was kind
What's
of the
thing called poise. Oh, it
poise.
doesn't matter. It's not right.
Yeah, kind of the idea was to show the least necessary number of stats.
Information,
Yeah. So, but the information is kind of through text.
Oh, so it's all like analog information. It's not like
Yeah. So, for example, if you walk around and you see like another player or just an NPC, it doesn't really matter. Since a player and an NPC kind of have the same structure behind it. But so if you see someone, you might be able to inspect them, right? And see like, oh, that guy looks buffed as fuck. I might not want to mess with him, right? To kind of see if you want to try to kill him or not.
Oh yeah, I'll get you. I don't know whether maybe you'd have to have some kind of other like visual signifier. Like,
yeah.
Where the visual would make sense, like.
Yeah.
how wide the character is. Literally, like
How much of a
Actually,
unit
I
he
mean,
is.
unless you want to, if you don't want to do pixel like perfectly grid-based stuff, you could probably do that. To be honest,
Yeah.
like, fucking that's it. Like, if you're too strong, you can't fit through a door. That'd be fucking dumb. Like, you gotta go to the first shop and it's like you're too strong. You probably also want like a point pool so that like no one becomes too ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe not. Or what you do is you have a point pool that's randomized between like two bands, and then you just, and then from there you draw out the stats.
Yeah, and like you can still do stuff, right? So you can still level your stats, but it's through action, and kind of like older RPGs, where it's if you do stuff, you level that.
I think that might be a good idea. Like maybe even like not as an MMO, just as like a general RPG. That would be a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so. But I've
I mean, are we talking like are we gonna have JRPG elements where it's like where it's like you're in a battle, diddly 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 diddly, because I like I understand why people do them, but I fucking hate JRPG combat.
No.
I'm too westernized.
No.
I want to whack him with a sword. Fuck this guy.
Hoito Pigu.
The
Very
combat
Western.
itself, I don't know yet, because the whole reason why it's 2D, or why I planning on doing 2D, is mainly because of just I'm not going to make 3D models, right? So
Oh yeah.
so it might be possible to make it 3D, and that would mean that there would be less text and you can show more. But I guess if you could have a lot of visual signifiers
Yeah.
still.
But I think you can still have visual signifiers with 2D. It's just that you'd have to be very clever about it.
Yeah.
Because you could literally just have it so like certain certain stats affects the shape of the body of the character.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or yeah, and it doesn't, for me it doesn't really matter if I would describe it through text dynamically, or like have it be
I mean
visually.
from a program point of view, yeah, probably it's like it's not
Yeah.
crazy, but I mean just from a gameplay point of view, you
Yeah.
probably want to find a way to avoid
Too much
getting
text.
Yeah, because the thing is, people will be like, well, it's like it. Yeah, like a lot of like good anticipation stuff is when someone looks at it and goes, "Fuck, I won't mess with that guy."
Mm.
Whereas you just go up to like a character model, you click on it, and you go, "Fuck." Then the text says, "Do not mess with this guy."
Well, yeah, I was thinking obviously more a little bit about be a bit more fake about it. For example, if for example if someone is has a really high, I don't know, sword fighting skill and he's walking around.
If they have high intelligence, they just get a really big head.
Just really big.
And if their head gets too big, they can't fit for doors.
For example, if someone has a really high sword fighting skill or fighting skill or whatever, the person would be probably be a bit more confident in its posture, right? But with the sword. But if the person has a really high charisma, he would also be more confident looking. So
Basically, just give them like a trendy stubble.
yeah. So what would happen is if you see someone that's either high charisma or high like fighting stat, it would just say it would just describe that the person looks really confident in its like walking or stuff like that.
Boy, are my trousers tight.
But that could either mean that okay, the person has high charisma as a stat, or the person would beat me the fuck up.
Oh boy, my trousers tight. Just have that be the response. Yeah, like, just have a ritualist style character where even if a woman's strong, he just can't help himself.
And what I'm also planning to do, because my girlfriend is not into fighting games and RPGs and stuff like that, just have kind of like an area for my girlfriend where she can do some farming and like collecting furniture and stuff like that in a castle.
But like you could have like a character, because you go like the way of a like an old style RPG and just have let the stats just be abused. Like
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
like if you go off and you have you can just get really fucking swole, and
Yeah.
but you have no sword like fighting skill, so you literally have like use a club and you can kill anything in one hit, but you can't fucking hit them, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like don't balance it necessarily.
Oh, it doesn't need to be balanced, especially at start. It doesn't. It really doesn't
'Cause,
need to be.
I mean,
balanced.
you could have a benefit to just going out farming, and it's like you
No.
could have like a social stat or whatever, and if you give people stuff, they're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool.
Now, what I want to give to my girlfriend is she can still play the game, but she isn't actually doing the fighting and stuff like that. She can just collect furniture and like.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that like, but it's like she doesn't actually like you don't have to level a stat necessarily to win.
Yeah.
Like it's just called quest, and all you do is you just do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, and
Like you can just go off farming, and you never have to finish the game.
no, the thing is, I want to put my girlfriend into like a castle and kind of elude to players to go to the castle to receive something. And then my girlfriend is just playing her own game.
She has to
inside
act
the
as an
game.
NPC, so you don't have to program it. She just goes, here is your reward, hero."
No, it would be
And then she
more
walks
like
into the back room where it's all stacks.
it would just be her yelling, "Kenny, someone is here. What should I say?" Stuff like that.
What did you want me to say again? Oh, we already discussed this. Can't believe you've done this.
Just have a fight in front of the player. The player is almost dead. Just had the biggest trail of like boss fights and stuff like that, and then they reach my girlfriend's home
You
where
just have
she
a fucking
just
domestic, lovely.
yeah.
Quest to receive your healing potion. Fix this relationship.
Oh, don't be like that. I already said that.
Get into the
I
heat.
didn't mean it that way. You never liked my mum.
The player wants
Just
to
go-
intervene. He just gets banned.
It's just, oh god.
No,
It's like a really long scripted event that you can't skip.
you don't get
And if you
anything
try
in
and
return.
skip it, she says, "How dare you try and skip it?"
if you try to say something, you just get muted.
Oh, because the thing is, you could generate really interesting. Because the thing is, if you don't really need to worry about having like mobs necessarily, right? In terms of like non-human looking mobs,
Yeah, that's not necessary.
you can literally just use the same stat generator that you use for the player. Yeah.
Yeah, and the same with the NPC. And I kind of want to have it dynamic. So, for example, you can just set up through questing. You can just set up a kind of like a town. Set rules for that town. Start the economy, and NPCs will just populate that town. But if
What is that game where you play as like a king of a kingdom, and you just like you don't control the heroes necessarily, but you build stuff that brings them there.
yeah, it's Majesty, I think.
Is it?
Majesty uses it, yeah.
I've forgotten the name. I haven't played it. It's just that I know of it.
Yeah, Majesty does that. I played it recently. Majesty 2.
But yeah, but that's like not a bad idea for a town. Is you can just like, I mean, if we're talking like maybe a little bit more user friendly, you could literally just have like certain buildings that you put in a town, and that would just bring certain people to the town.
Yeah, so you kind of like collect the resources for it. That's fine. And also, what I want to put in is that the NPCs operate in the same way as players would do. So
Oh, so they also have their own stat generation.
yes, so they also generate their stats. So if you don't defend your town and all your NPCs get slaughtered, they will be worse at stuff like crafting, right? Because you will get new NPCs, and they might be weighted like in terms of being okay at something than just a new player. But for example, blacksmithing or something like that. But
Yeah.
the longer they actually do their profession, the higher skill they would get. And if you get raided or something like that, or by other players, or by just an event, and you can't properly defend it, then it kind of
basically set up
resets
like
it.
a cookie clicker, right? Like you could have it so that the level of a building affects like the kind of like the leveling up speed of that
Yeah.
particular skill for that particular NPC.
Yeah.
So even if one dies, you can get a new one that's from like level 1.
Yeah, but
they-
you already got the buildings, stuff like that. Yeah.
So they don't. You still have. It's not that you still have access to those abilities. You wouldn't have the same level of
Yeah.
like crafting skill, but you would have to wait less time to get there. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it's a bit more efficient to level up your stats.
Yeah.
for the
If
episode,
it
yeah.
does, if it does fuck up.
Yeah, that's not bad. So yeah, I've actually written down a lot for this, and also got like a map design. Just have to start modeling and doing some of the basics. But I am
Sounds
excited for the project. Thing is, a while ago I already kind of made in terms of the actual programming, like the class structure and stuff like that. For an RPG, I already wrote it out.
Oh, you already have that, yeah.
Yeah, a while ago. But in the meantime, I'm playing Minecraft.
Epic. I'd really lean heavily on that. Because the making an MMO would be like a cool addition. I don't know necessarily whether that's.
Well, yeah. So the thing is, if I set it up like how I want it to be, it doesn't actually matter if it's an MMO or single player.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to transition from single player to MMO. In that way, it would just be depending on the server itself. I don't want to make the game itself that dependent on being online or offline. The code for the game. So if I want to hook in a more of a MMO, then I would just have to write the server and API.
I feel like as really strong legs as just a single player thing though.
Yeah.
That's probably because I like single player stuff anyway. So that you maybe
Yeah, it's kind of
take my word as like a, as it is.
yeah. I mean, I don't mind it being or even optional. I don't mind that.
Because I think you don't even need to have description. In fact, that would be better if you didn't have descriptions of characters necessarily.
No.
In terms of like describing how powerful their abilities are, but just having it so that the player has to kind of look and tell, and then they can use that that skill of being able to look and tell becomes like
Better. Yeah.
like from them. It's like a personal skill, not a
All right, like that. Yeah.
metric. Does that make sense? Whereas like because there's always that underlying element of like, I know something in game, but my character's not meant to know that or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't. If the player knows stuff, I don't mind translating that into the game. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I
But,
think that's or at least that would be my idea, and that's obviously
yeah.
what it is. So
Yeah, that's the main problem is with that. I also didn't think about it to do it like that, but because I don't really care how someone would know. It's just that there should be some kind of difference between someone that's like it's going to kill you in one hit and the person that's going to be killed in one hit, right? There should be some kind of way to warn someone without just stating, "Oh, this is his level," right? And that's or else you would just run into players or monsters, enemies, NPCs. I don't know.
yeah, you just
Just
kind of
go
go,
ham.
oh, they're pretty, without having to put like the level next to it.
Yeah. So I don't mind how it's displayed, and maybe it's not even necessary at all. Just don't go randomly kill people, or else you might be killed instead. Because I
Because
was
that would be like a really cool idea if you had like because like the first like area or whatever, you could have like pre-made characters using those stats, so the player can kind of get used to the idea that some characters are going to be stronger, some characters are going to be weaker, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Kind of, and the whole thing with a non-equal kind of creation of both characters, NPCs, and monsters or enemies is the reason why I don't want the player to just know it, what their difference is, or else it would kind of be possible to just delete your character, start like create a new character, just keep re-rolling, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to prevent that, but still want to have some randomness. So yeah, for
Well, the
example,
best way to do that would have like some higher level late game stats, not be as visually like distinct.
yeah. So that's kind of what I wanted to go with. So that if you kind of are pushed towards one direction, but I only notice it after a certain amount of played time or progression, right?
It gives you a starting off point, but effectively, if you don't bother, like, I mean, you could train your strength
Oh,
so much.
you
don't
can
train anything else.
Yeah, you can train whatever. That's fine. But if you go into one thing, that would probably be a bit faster than the other thing, or maybe just to put a solid cap on it. That would be funny though. Just someone that kind of betted on going strength, just go strength, but he has like a really low strength cap. And then he kind of needs to get back into, I don't know, wizardry or something like that. But I feel like that's a bit too much of a shock if I would do it like that. But yeah, I kind of wanted to emulate, in a way, talent with it. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Why I wanted it like that.
Because it like, yeah, you could have like some like starting off points where things are easier, but the player goes, "Wow, this is easy," but they don't necessarily know it's because of a stat. They're just like, "Oh, this is easy."
Yeah.
And this isn't. And then when someone goes, "Oh, that's like difficult," you're like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, exactly. For example, stuff like everybody will reach a different kind of height in their life, right? In terms of length. And that could affect stuff like your strength. And you can still get really buffed. But someone with big muscles would probably be easier to get strong. but maybe
Yeah,
because
someone
of
who's already got enough strength. It does take more time to get there, or
Yeah.
I wonder how you would do that. Or you could basically just like have it be that the upgrades in strength or whatever are based on, like, let's say you can upgrade a stat like 60 times, right?
Yeah.
An individual 6 times, not exactly, but it's like if you start out with 2 strength and you trained it, you could get 60, you get 62. But if you start out with like 10, you can get like a maximum of 70, right?
Yeah.
I think that's.
Yeah,
But it would
something like
cost
that.
the same either way. Like it wouldn't.
Yeah, as long as yeah, exactly. As long as you don't really notice it or know for certain up till a certain amount of played time, basically, or amount of progression, or else people would just keep re-rolling. I don't mind if you played like the game for a month straight and then discover that your character is not min-maxed the way you wanted it to be, and then you go re-roll. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like having character customization like not necessarily be done by the player,
Yeah, yeah,
but then have that actually affect the game. So there's a reason to re-roll, right? Like go like make a new save or whatever. But there's also like almost a benefit to finding out what that niche is for that character.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know you can still
You still
replay
train
ability.
other stats if you need it.
Yeah, yeah,
But-
you can train whatever. You can get up to a point with anything, but maybe there are like, if you are like a manlet or something like that, and your strength is just naturally pretty low, and you get up to like an end game something, where you need to either have a lot of strength or compensate it with magic. Something like that. Yeah.
Like a good thing would be almost to have like if you just use the D&D stats, right? You can make intelligence, strength, and maybe constitution pretty visible, right? There's stuff like charisma, wisdom, and dexterity. You could maybe not make it as visually distinct, which
Yeah.
means that later on in the game, when you need those kind of stats, you may have been getting buffs to it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
So like, there's a benefit to kind of going from the early game to the late game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going, oh fuck, dexterity I didn't think was important because I was busy like chopping logs or whatever.
Yeah.
Which now sounds like a bit of a euphemism, but that's kind of besides the point.
Exactly. That's kind of the plan. I don't know how I want to do it in terms of, for example, how to work out the stats. Do I want to just have every action a stat and then you cross train in a way? For example, if you like do a lot of wood cutting, you will automatically train anything a little bit that that kind of depends on strength, or you train through wood cutting, you train a strength modifier, which helps kind of other stats with it.
I mean, I
that's-
guess you could have like 2 core things where you have like things that you can do that earn you money, that give you small stat boosts, or even like like temporary stat mods, and then
Yeah.
you have things that you pay for which give you permanent stat mods.
Hell yeah. Pay with real money, obviously.
Because you can basically chop a load of logs, and then you're like, wow, I've got like a temporary like strength boost.
Yeah.
And then you can sell the logs, and chop logs to like people who can't be asked to chop logs for some reason, and then you can just go to the gym and have maximum gains.
Exactly.
Like, excuse me, agent, there's some pagan gods I can pray to get maximum muscle. Oh, that'd be a good way of teaching people stats. Is if you had like, because the temporary modifiers are going to give you like like if you get stronger, you're gonna get swole, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna slowly degrade over time. You're like, well, why is that? And then you go to the gym and it stays permanent.
Nice.
But you don't say your stats will stay permanent. You just go, you can keep the muscle gain. You get fucking some. You just go there and you buy some fucking
Protein.
yeah, protein. Do you have any protein supplements? Oh yeah, we do actually. Wow, this is a really good RPG. You can just do what you do in real life.
Just what, yeah, exactly. You know, this is realism. This is immersion.
Oh yeah, kind of have it like that's what it reminds me of Persona, where like the
Yeah.
stats in like the real world are like really kind of abstract. They're like, yeah, you did a good, and you're like, what the fuck? What does that mean? Well, you're pretty smart. I'm like, okay,
Thanks.
but then it's like the stats in like the anime world are like, oh, this is super
Yeah.
super descriptive.
Yeah. But yeah, I will. Once I get started, I will probably just live stream it or something like that. Development of it.
Just have a big berserk sword, and then just have it so like you have to be like you have to have rolled perfect strength and have trained maximum strength to lift it,
Yes.
and it can't even do any damage.
Thing is,
Just to fuck off all the berserk or weeboos.
if I ever become a famous game developer, I would just, whenever there's a question of, yeah, what inspired you for this game, I would just say, well, a famous work called Berserk. Just with any game, just every game, you know.
just like, oh yeah, I was inspired by this great sword in this Dark Souls game. I don't know if anyone knows about it. It's just called Great Sword, but it's not a great sword. Why? That God knows.
But you made a Hello Kitty game, yeah. So just got
Like-
inspired.
Just oh my god. Where my face went berserk. The fucking Dark Souls is still a better fucking adaptation than the fucking 2016 anime or whatever.
Hell yeah. Yes.
Clang. You know, I recently just like caught up with Berserk. I mean, I started reading it and then caught up, and I'm like, I can't actually look at the 3D stuff because it makes me angry.
just makes you angry and sad and angry.
But why do you do this? What is with Japan and being like either really hard hit or really hard miss? Like they can't. There's no like in between for those fuckers.
Yeah.
They will miss the point so poorly that their game just never, or anime is just complete shit, or they will hit it so perfect that it's like, why? Where is like the? Oh, it was alright.
Yeah, I wish every game would be a Dark Souls game. Actually, I'm pretty hyped for Sekiro. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like, I love stealth games and I love
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
It would be kind of like the Spider-Man of Souls games.
They're this fun, ironically. It's actually not too far off as well.
No.
You have a little like line that you do to zip up to areas. You stealth take down people. I mean, you're using a sword, but we can ignore that for a bit.
Yeah, like, you know. No, but Spidey is also allowed to use sword. To be fair, just doesn't
He doesn't use a sword.
use it, but he could.
No, he can't because he believes in responsibility or something like that.
I mean, you have to.
Oh my god, is Jordan Peterson like the Uncle Ben of just the rest of the world? He just talks about responsibility all the time.
Yeah. No, but
Can we get Jordan Peterson to play in the MCU as Uncle Ben? Can we have it?
that
And,
would.
and it's like there's just a 20-minute tirade about where responsibility is from how derived from Genesis.
Just another reboot of Spider-Man. It just the first scene will be Peter Parker and Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
And he's like, but why? It's like, 'cause it's your responsibility.
I bet you could make a great mashup for that. To be fair. Just edit the movie.
Peter, it's about responsibility, right? You have a duty to your fellow. I can't do it. I can't do the voice.
You
Need
have a
loss.
responsibility to save your father from the underworld.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that Jordan Peterson may have just liked Spider-Man a bit too much. That's what I'm saying.
You could probably just use Uncle Ben and just put Jordan Peterson voice over it, and then have a
He would be a great Uncle Ben because
Yeah.
he would just, and then all the fucking, all the lefty boys would be like, oh, he dies at the end. Everyone get fucking. Oh, I wish that would happen in real life.
It's kind of like the father figure, you know, and you have to save him.
Well, you have to save him from. Oh, he's dead already.
Oh fuck. You have to save your father, Peter. Slash uncle.
Peter, every day you should be thinking, what can I do today to make me better for the next day?
It's about meaning.
Just have Peter Parker, just a montage of the movie, and then Peter Parker, every decision he has to make.
And he gets killed by an angry atheist. That's how he dies.
Just have Peter have like inner monologues of what his uncle would say.
As he fucking shoots him. No, he like puts a gun to the back. He says like, "Do you believe in God?" And he's like, "Well, that's a complicated question." What does believe mean? Just... Oh god. He could easily just use any argument by just confusing the shit out of everyone.
When Sam Harris shoots Uncle Ben.
But it's truth. Well, it depends what you mean by truth.
Define truth.
Oh god. And it's like, yeah, I just love it. It could be the most confusing, abstract, weird scene in any fucking Marvel movie so far.
We
Doctor
just,
Strange, but I don't know what this guy's on about. This guy's too mystical for me.
if you're going to edit the fuck out of that to create that, you have to do it fast because beeps are
Oh.
bad.
Yeah.
God,
it's
imagine
bad.
having a proper BRB screen and not just what I did on my stream in Foyer.
Sorry.
Imagine having a proper BRB screen for your stream.
I know.
In Lounge, what I did for mine.
Yeet. Yeet.
Yeah, I'll probably stop streaming it a bit, but I'm smoking now.
Whoa, smoke bad.
This.
No, I play Minecraft, therefore I'm talking about creeper smoke.
Shit, son.
Am I right? Ah.
I am smoking particles. What was I gonna do? I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, I was going on about like the Berserk meme in Dark Souls because I'm literally playing Dark Souls at the moment, and I'm currently doing like a great sword build. Sorry, I need to clarify it. The ultra great sword.
Yeah.
Don't know where it's from though.
Does it look like a slab of iron?
That big slab of iron that shouldn't be able to cut through things, but it just does.
But it does.
What?
The fuck? It's like
Yeet.
if you just put an edge on something to cut through it.
I just like the fact that the Doomslayer in like Doom Eternal is just slowly becoming Guts. Like he's got a giant sword now that like He's just too angry to die. It's kind of just they're too similar of a character. Frankly, like there's the only two important factors about them. They're too angry to die.
Too angry to die. Big sword.
And they carry around a big sword. Yeah, that's basically the same character, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a Cloud, you know, from Final Fantasy.
Cloud is a big gay. He literally, I bet he hasn't even seen, like, he bet he hasn't lost his arm.
Yeah.
But he's just like, oh, I lost my memory a bit, or something like that. I don't know. I don't play Final Fantasy. I
No,
only know him from memes about
From
Final
memes.
Fantasy.
I played it a little bit, but I know that Sephiroth kills a girl and
Oh no, that's it. I only know Final Fantasy from that one fucking thing that the best guy ever did. The Final Fantasy guide to Final Fantasy.
the
Every Final Fantasy game.
oh nice. I saw that lecture kind of thingy.
Yeah, the lecture.
All right, yeah, got it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think he's pretty funny. He's a pretty funny man.
Yeah, I also like this Kingdom Hearts. That was pretty good.
Hey, funny man, make joke.
Having everybody sing, and the audience just
Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. Oh wait, no, is that?
yeah, that's it, that's it. How are you feeling?
And everyone just goes quietly, goes. And he just leans into it so much. It's fucking.
I mean, if I would ever become a teacher, I would probably do something like that with long lecture.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself but take the piss in a lecture because it would just be like too much fun.
Especially like a lecture with like in a big room, right, with multiple.
Because people would start getting into it and then start fucking about with it.
Yeah.
And then they get engagement. Like,
I mean,
it's a class on like.
most of the
Sorry,
audience
go on.
wasn't really into it, and for some reason he kept their
He kept
somewhat.
doing it 'cause he's a fucking asshole.
And people were actually they held out. They held out. I think it was like 3 hours or something. What can you say?
No, jeez. Yeah, no, I think. To be fair, I think they were doing their own lectures on top of that, so it was like.
Yeah, if you have to do it yourself, then you might as well kind of want to have the decency to be quiet and not fuck about too much.
Simple and clean is the way that you make it me feel tonight. I don't think I've played a proper Kingdom Hearts game. I don't think I've actually properly played it. I played the second one for a bit, and I got confused because it seemed like there was way too much going on. And I was like, wow, maybe I should play the first one, and then I went no. That was my character arc for playing Kingdom Hearts.
I'm going to when Kingdom Hearts 3 releases. I'm going to just buy the whole bundle with on the PS4 for all the Kingdom Hearts games, and I will probably marathon it. Because I did play the first one, but
Just not. I don't think. I think it's alright, but I just don't think it's my kind of game. Because I'm not really a big Disney fan. Or like I like some of the interesting 2D animation stuff, but like. You know what it is? 2D, like not 2D, fucking Disney thoughts just fucking piss me off.
whoa.
You know what I mean? Like the ones that are just like, oh my god, I really love, and it's just like, yeah, well done for liking a good film.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars. It's like, yeah, okay. You
Yeah.
weren't born in the 80s. You don't have an excuse to just be a fucking a prat about it. Like they were allowed to only like one film because they only had one film. Bless them.
This is so sad.
They had one film like a month or whatever.
Yeah.
We have so many now. You have to pick a niche, bitch.
Alright, I'm shutting off the stream.
Oh, there you go. End it on
Ye-
that. Pick a niche, bitch. There you go.